Episode 80's opening is quite unique. We travel through some trees while closing in on Hiruzen's corpse, all to the tune of melancholy music. Now, this is the first time in the series where there is no title card, and it makes sense. The character reading the title card is always energetic, but given the title of the episode, The Third Hokage Forever, having Naruto exclaim that wouldn't make any sense and would also take away from the mood of the episode. Hiruzen is dead, and Orochimaru and Enma are grieving, albeit for different reasons. Proceeding with the episode, Orochimaru towers over Hiruzen's corpse, stun-locked by the reality that his arms are no longer functional. Using all the strength he could muster, Enma slowly crawls towards Hiruzen and pays him his final respects.
Sarutobi, let me remove the blade. Fitting end for one who had mastered the way of the shinobi.
There's a few things I want to point out. The first being, Enma still calls him Sarutobi instead of Hiruzen, which is a sign of respect. The second thing I want to point out is when Enma goes to pull out the blade, he doesn't grab the hilt. He instead grabs the blade just like he did in episode 73. I originally thought Enma grabbed the blade because he was trying to stop it from piercing Hiruzen, but considering he reaches past the hilt to grab the blade, there must be some special property that prevents him from wielding it properly. The third point is, Enma straight up steals Orochimaru's sword and dips. I'd be even more impressed if I were Orochimaru. He just lost his tongue sword. Suffering from the immense pain of losing his arms, Orochimaru calls off the invasion. As such, he and his four subordinates leap off into the sky in an attempt to escape. The three Anbu agents finally decide to do something and leap into the sky after them, only to immediately get bodied by the same jutsu. Oh my gosh. Unlucky, I guess. After seeing that whole spectacle unfold, Guy says this.
Kakashi, they're pulling out. We should go after them.
But instead of going, "Hell yeah, brother, let's light this candle," Kakashi says this.
Wait, Guy, I'm not so sure.
Which baffles me. Traps be damned. The fact that Guy, Kakashi, and Genma didn't pursue Orochimaru makes very little sense to me. To be honest, they all didn't even need to go. Guy solos. I have a lot more to say on this matter, but I'm going to be making a Konoha Crush review video, so be on the lookout for that. After the gang decided not to pursue Orochimaru, the Anbu agent is revealed to be Kabuto. Since Orochimaru is retreating, Kabuto decides to retreat as well, so he and Baki dip. And while that chaos settles, out in the forest, we pick up with the Sand siblings. First, we see Temari leaping through the trees when he seemingly accidentally comes across Kankurro since he jumps right past him. However, the only in-character reason for Temari to be heading back towards Konoha is if she was looking for Kankurro. I like that she accidentally jumped past him instead of just going straight to him, cause it's like she was zoning out from all the events that recently occurred. It's a nice touch. Before getting to Naruto and Gaara, the Shikaku Sand arm is shown falling off of Sakura. Now that may seem odd to you, and it did to me at first as well, but I'm pretty sure time is just a bit convoluted here. I say that because the hand should have been falling off of Sakura after Naruto headbutted Gaara. The only reason we weren't shown that immediately is because it would have ruined the pacing of the story. So, W Kishimoto for not ruining the tension. And with that settled, we have finally made it to Naruto and Gaara's final confrontation. With no chakra left, Gaara gazes upon Naruto with curiosity in his eyes, as he asks himself,
What could it be that makes him so strong?
The tables have now turned. 3 episodes ago, it was Naruto pondering what made Gaara so strong.
Maybe he's right. Maybe it's made him stronger. Maybe it is a weakness to have friends you care about, to know what happiness is.
Similar to Naruto, Gaara now feels backed into a corner, which is why he says,
I will not disappear. I will not cease to exist. I won't.
Gaara is frustrated and lost. His purpose is to be a powerful weapon, but what good is a weapon if it can't strike down those it's wielded against? While you ponder that, Naruto inches towards Gaara like a worm as we're taken into a flashback of Naruto's childhood. Before commenting on the flashback, I want to point out the irony of Naruto inching forward like a worm to then have a flashback of him being treated like one. I don't know if Kishimoto was just being clever or if it was an accident. Either way, well done, Kishimoto. Continuing on, the flashback opens with a horizontal split to the tune of sadness and sorrow, to a scenario we've seen before. Episode 62 shows Naruto with his back to the village, with the crowd visibly rejecting him. That showed how Naruto was shunned and treated with contempt. Episode 80's flashback shows us the other side of Naruto's loneliness. The people of Konoha have no contempt. Instead, they are pretending like Naruto doesn't even exist. That means Naruto is faced with two dark realities. Either he ceases to exist, or he is resented. In the very first episode, we see Naruto as a troublemaker, and learn the reason for that is that he wants to be seen. Later that episode, he says this to Iruka.
Naruto! The next Hokage! A ninja legend! Then everyone will have to stop disrespecting me and look up to me! Believe it!
Proceeding with the flashback, Naruto is attempting to play with some other kids, but they run away from him. Different voices can be heard saying things about him, and they eventually call him a freak. We then transition to Gaara's flashback, that's going in reverse order of Naruto's. The manga has them assuming the exact same position, alluding to them being the exact same, but personally, I prefer the anime's adaptation. The anime has Naruto holding up his right hand, while the camera pans to the right, when it transitions to Gaara holding up his left hand, with the camera panning to the left. That better shows that Naruto and Gaara are two sides of the same coin. A reality that Gaara is now forced to realize, since for the first time ever, he's been beaten into submission. And with Naruto confronting him, he's also forced to contemplate his purpose, or should I say, his reason for living. Is he just a weapon? Naruto endured a similar fate, and yet, he isn't. We cut back to Naruto as he continues to inch towards Gaara while replaying Haku's and Gaara's feelings about their existence. Both of them also had nothing, and clung to the first thing they could. I don't know if you guys remember, but Haku also shared a similar dilemma, even though he doesn't have a demon sealed within him. He was a lone child with no purpose, until Zabuza came along and turned him into his weapon. Gaara wasn't alone. He had a father and he had siblings. But the thing is, Gaara's own father turned him into a weapon. The thought of that devastates Naruto. Two kids who were unloved by their village and saw no other purpose for their lives other than to become killing machines. It's like some sort of system that grooms children into androids who gain fulfillment from following orders, all while being robbed of their emotions. Take a look at Child Haku.
Friendship, comfort, encouragement. I do not need these things, nor should you expect them from me.
I understand. I am yours, Zabuza. I am only an instrument of your will. Think of me as a weapon to be kept at your side and used as you see fit.
Haku said that made him happy, since he finally had a purpose. Now, I'm not saying Haku was entirely wrong or that his feelings are invalid, because having a purpose is extremely important. That's his sentiment that Naruto himself fully agrees with, so he is no different. But because of his ninja way, and his similarities to Gaara, Naruto deeply desires to save Gaara from his torment. He didn't get to save Haku, but now he has a chance to save Gaara.
It's almost unbearable, isn't it? The feeling of being all alone. I know that feeling. I've been there, in that dark and lonely place.
He then says, "But I've got people who care about me. People that are important to me. I won't let you hurt them." That shocks Gaara because that goes directly against living for only yourself. Naruto then assures Gaara that he will kill him if it is the only way to stop him. Sorry to break the immersion, but before proceeding, I like the anime's iteration more.
I care more about them than I do myself, and I won't let anyone hurt them. That's why I won't ever give up, even if I have to kill you.
The sentence structure is much better, and Naruto saying, "I care more about them than I do myself," speaks much more to Naruto's character. Now then, proceeding with the anime, Gaara asks,
But why? Why would you do this for anyone but yourself?
Because they saved me from myself. They rescued me from my loneliness. They were the first to accept me for who I am. They're my friends.
Naruto's words cut deep into Gaara's psyche and unveiled a lesson that Yashimaru taught him long ago. The lesson being, what is love? With no sand left between he and Naruto, Gaara is now capable of hearing his message and calmly asks,
Love. Is that the thing that makes him so strong?
This episode marks the end of Gaara's arc as an antagonist. He no longer sees love as a weakness, and as such, was capable of breaking free from his father's brainwashing. As mentioned in previous episodes, Gaara's good side was always buried deep within him. And because of that, I think he always knew that Orochimaru was speaking from the heart when he taught him about love. That's why he was so adamant on breaking Naruto's will in previous episodes when he could have just killed him and moved on. Now that we're done with Naruto's talk no jutsu, I want to reference the manga real quick. There was some dialogue from the anime that I thought was better, but then the manga immediately outshined the anime with the very next panel. Naruto responding to Gaara by saying his friends saved him from the darkness and that he can't live without them because he loves them ties into Gaara's flashback of Orochimaru teaching him about love way better than Naruto saying,
"They were the first to accept me for who I am. They're my friends."
Anime Gaara also questions if love is what makes Naruto so strong, while manga Gaara outright states that it is. I suppose both adaptations get the job done, but I have my preferences. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. After Gaara's revelation, Sasuke arrives and tells Naruto that Sakura is safe. The way he does it in the anime though is so funny to me.
Look, Sakura's gonna be alright. The sand crumbled away, she's free. This guy's chakra is all used up.
Gaara is just staring at the stars blankly while Sasuke is like, yeah, this guy's chakra. He doesn't even bother to use Gaara's name. I don't know why I find that so funny. Maybe it's because manga Sasuke is so professional with his delivery, while anime Sasuke just like, hey yo, Sakura is safe, bro over there is cooked. With that silliness aside, Kankurro and Temari pull up and, I gotta say, they're both looking mighty pressed. That's okay though, because Gaara calls for a retreat, so Kankurro picks him up and they dip. A neat little detail I'd like to point out is a subtle difference between the anime and the manga. This is how the retreat order played out in the anime.
That's enough. It's over.
But Gaara...
Even before reading the manga, I didn't get why Kankurro would question Gaara's retreat order. He knows Gaara is completely out of chakra, plus he and Temari are also out of chakra. I mean, sure, I guess like Sasuke is too, but it didn't even look like Kankurro and Temari were confident in 2 wanting him. So with that in mind, I'm much more in favor of the manga's iteration. Gaara says, no need to fight, withdraw. Kankurro says, good enough for me, yoinks Gaara and skedaddles immediately. There's one last scene you need to see to really piece this thing together, so let's get into it.
Who knows? Naruto Uzumaki. Perhaps even I, someday.
While Gaara thinks, perhaps even I someday, the camera zooms in on Gaara's love tattoo, signifying that perhaps someday he can love and be loved. We're then shown a leaf mixing in with the sand, foreshadowing that even though the sand just launched a full-scale invasion on the leaf, their villages will be allied again in due time. Finally, I really like the way Kishimoto cleverly used the manga to deliver Gaara's final line to Temari and Kankurro. Gaara addresses his brother and sister while the camera is super close to Gaara's face. The brilliance lies in how Kishimoto drew the speech bubble. It appears to be emerging from Gaara's love tattoo, which to me means he's speaking from the heart when he apologizes to his siblings. He doesn't just say sorry either, he says that he's so sorry, which catches Temari and Kankurro off guard, since Gaara has never apologized to them for anything, including when he threatened to kill Kankurro in the Forest of Death. You can tell the two are uncomfortable and don't really know how to react by the looks in their faces. Kankurro just awkwardly says, well, it's okay I guess, and that's the last we see of them. This was the moment Gaara's life changed forever, and it's because Naruto showed him there was another way to live. Next episode will cover Hiruzen's funeral. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like the video and leave a comment. Write anything. It really helps with the algorithm. Hope to see you all in the next episode. Deuces.